Okay, I see Jacqueline is up. So we will go with Jacqueline and Zach on the Jake. And then after them, we will go to Tom Pledger to close us up. So Jacqueline, I will kick it over to you and Zach.
I think Zach's going to start. Go ahead, Zach.
All right. Okay, let me get this up here. And all right, so can everybody hear me? See Jackie, see her screen. Okay, we got the tech check. So, all right, Lucas, you're not going to start our slides quite yet, right? Because you gave everybody a really good intro because they gave you the prep to be able to enable you to do so. And our intro was essentially, here's Jacqueline and Zach. So
I apologize for that. Hang on, let me.
No, it's all right. We can intro ourselves. In fact, I kind of
I am so sorry. Hey, moderator foul. That was a moderator foul. I'll push.
No, it's all good. We can do burpees after together. I think we got the mic, I guess, collectively here, and we'll just go with it. But thank you for letting us be able to do this. And hey, everybody out there in CAWcast world. So I'm Major Zach Lucas, United States Marine Corps active duty, and I got my counterpart there. This is my first co-president on Zoom. This is my first Pecha Kucha, and this is my first opportunity to speak actually officially on behalf of the Jake. So a lot of firsts for us, and I know Jacqueline, who just joined our team, may also as well. But I just wanted to kind of open up with why the Jake really, and then hand it over to Jacqueline. But the DoD is in a digital readiness crisis, and frankly has been for a while. And AI is not a standalone solution, but the suite of technologies and skill sets required to bring AI to the Department of Defense by default requires revolutionary leaps in both technology, skill sets, and in particularly the DoD's culture. And that's been mentioned a lot today. So is the Jake therefore innovative? Well, that depends on your perspective. Are you inside the Jake? Are you outside of the Jake? Are you elsewhere in the federal government? Are you an innovation partner in industry? But particularly for the DoD, I would argue that the Jake, in fact, is the DoD's and the Chief Information Officer's response to the call for innovation. Ben mentioned it earlier, the Defense Innovation Board helped establish the Jake, and it was formally established by memo by the Deputy Secretary of Defense in 2018. We were inside the POM cycle, so we got reprogram money and detailed temporary people to help establish this organization to regain a competitive advantage in the AI space. And so just keep that in the back of your mind as we blow through these slides here at 20 seconds apiece. And Jacqueline, over to you.
Awesome, thanks. Hey everyone, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm really excited to be here. I read in the chat box, just so everybody knows, real late that we should not have a really distracting background behind us, but I'm a disruptor, so apologies. You will see, I think, a NavalX box right back there, so I feel like that should buy me a little bit of cred. If you want to go to our first slide, or second one.
You're good, Jacqueline.
I can't see the slide change. Slide? No? Okay. Slides are not going, but I will just go through the audio. All right, so our first slide is a picture. I'm just going to describe it for you because what I see is our title slide. Our first slide is a picture of the cult classic office space with the "What would you say you do here?" guys on it. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you. We still see the we can still see the Jake presentation slide. Showing the 9 April 2020 CAWcast. So
I don't have control. Zach, do you have? Sorry.
No, I do. I'm popping it back.
There
okay.
We go.
Right.
I think everyone can see the slides now.
Cool. Now can we go back to the first one? Nope. Yep.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Sorry, guys. This is what makes this fun, right? Experimentation. All right. So this is obviously an image from the this cult classic, The Office. What would you say you do here? And the reason that we put it in here is because there are a lot of people that don't yet know what the Jake does. And frankly, the Jake is kind of in a 2.0 realignment, whatever you want to call it, sort of after its first year and a half, 2 years of discovery and self-exploration and learning. We're figuring out what our own business model is. And so that's why we wanted to sort of start with an introduction really to not only what the Jake is intended to be by that DevSecDef memo that Zach mentioned, but where we're going. So here's the way in which I think about the Jake and where we're going. First, there was Goldwater Nichols. So points to anybody that got that kind of reference. Goldwater Nichols overhauled the pre-1986 sort of stovepipe service model within the department, introducing the idea of really joint operations and streamlining chain of command, and ultimately leading to the creation of Special Operations Command. So a lot of sort of creation and innovation. The Jake and AI in particular, to me, is that sort of unstoppable catalyst for Goldwater Nichols 2.0, or something conceptually akin to that. So the Jake was stood up with the goal of using AI for large, complex problem sets within the department that span multiple services, and most importantly, that ensure that the services and components have real-time access to ever-improving libraries of data sets and tools. That's really important. Like, we don't currently have that, certainly not inculcated and centralized. So y'all didn't really think that we were going to get fully away from a crazy busy DoD graphic representation, right? I mean, we are the Jake, yes. We're effectively a startup. We're breaking molds and pushing hard against longstanding boundaries, archaic policy, risk-averse cultural practices, instantiated over decades, but we're still DoD, so give us a minute. We're getting there. So here's what that last eye chart translates into in terms of our business, where we're going. This is what this looks like. The Jake is in the business of transforming the DoD through AI, and we're doing that through what we call the 5 Ps: people, products, policy, platform, and protection. This is important because I want y'all to think of each of these Ps as a thing that we are productizing, or at least creating templates for the entire department. People as a product. That sounds terrible, but I'm going to explain in a second. So we are defining, creating, productizing, as it were, people. In that, we are creating an AI workforce for the department, an AI-ready workforce for the department. What does that mean? In terms of our products, the current areas that we have in terms of our national mission initiatives are joint warfighting, warfighter health, intelligent business automation, cyber, predictive maintenance, and HADR. We're learning lessons about and productizing ethical AI policy. Think about that for a sec. We are productizing ethical AI policy. And we're happy to take some questions about that in the Q&A. We're creating a model and templates for AI platform development for the department and for deployment. So again, productizing what this platform could look like to share tools and data sets and standards, et cetera. And then finally, for the department, on behalf of the department, with you all, we're figuring out and productizing what AI protection looks like. What do we need to do in terms of counter AI? What do we need to be thinking about from an intelligence and operations fusion perspective? All right, so where we wanted to really take this presentation was we decided not to sort of just go through the normal 101 with y'all. We decided to actually crowdsource for this presentation. So we asked 15 folks from around the Jake that have all different responsibilities, civilian, military, contractor, 3 questions each to help you guys really understand who we are, what we do, what you should expect to see from us this year, and most importantly, why we are all doing it. And so I'm going to turn it over to Zach to take us through that.
Thanks, Jacqueline. So like Jacqueline said, the first question that we asked them was, Jake has a unique imperative to transform the DoD through AI. And we asked them to describe what that meant to them, why it drew them to the Jake, or why it keeps them at the Jake. So the first answer we got was that it means giving the department the opportunity to leverage a game-changing suite of capabilities, technology, and forced cultural and mindset shifts in order to catalyze by AI to ensure we maintain our competitive advantage. This underwrites our continued ability to maintain the principles of democracy and our American way of life. So ironically, or perhaps even more fittingly, Game Changer is the name of one of those products that's forcing innovation in the policy space. The next answer we got was that from inside the Jake, they've seen what data can do when it's leveraged properly. They're fascinated by what data and AI can do, drawing new insights from looking at old problems in new ways, drawing new conclusions to gain a more holistic perspective. And they believe that AI can improve existing DoD business, not just adding new things. I think that's really powerful. We actually had one team member, a Jakester, as we call them, who fought hard to come to the Jake, just to be a member of the team. They knew that they needed to be there. That's how confident they were. They demanded to be on the team to force positive change in the DoD. So we are breaking bad. We're breaking bureaucracy, but we're doing it in a way that keeps the allied relationships that we need. And we're making it better for the service members and their families to do what the taxpayers expect. There is revolutionary change across the department, and that's making improvements for the warfighter. And AI is at the fore of that. The second question was, what specifically is your team doing to move the Jake closer to our imperative to transform the DoD? We're leveraging advances in technology, better understanding how to clean, curate data, access it, and get more aircraft ready to fight tonight, improving readiness through predictive maintenance, leveraging AI. We've also started a project in support of COVID. It's a key example of what the Jake is doing in FY20 to move towards this imperative. There's a ton of data to include non-traditional data stores for DoD, combined with an operational sense of urgency. We're blazing trails in this area, and we're at a cycle rate in this particular effort that is consistent with commercial capabilities. That's pretty exceptional for the department. Continuous integration, continuous development cycle, and it's keeping up with the mission need. That's rare for any organization in the DoD that isn't like an RCO, but this needs to become the norm. It's not just supposed to be centralized in the Jake. We're also developing security classification guidance that's specific to AI for the Jake to use internally, at least as a template. And then that will be something that could be productized, like Jacqueline mentioned, for the rest of the department. It's an AI-related information that we work with every day, properly classified, marked, and safeguarded. We're collaborating with partners to advance other security classification principles for the department. The third question was, how will we know we've been successful at the end of this FY? Well, there's more people. There's more entities, both inside and outside the DoD, who understand the mission of the Jake, and we can show this success because their knowledge, their attitudes, and behaviors are positive about and supportive of the Jake in action. Did the program office build our capability into their palm so that we can appropriately integrate it into an existing capability? Did it improve the user's ability to do their job? And did it improve the platform's ability to provide effectiveness to the warfighter? Did it improve our overall competitive advantage of efficiency, effectiveness, speed, gaining new insights, and lethality? Did we increase and sustain our relationship with combatant commanders, the Defense Innovation Board, the National Security Council on AI, Congress, key industry, academic, and foreign and allied partners? Did we gain feedback from the services and components that our products are enabling their digital modernization by engaging those charged with such modernization and ensuring that their capabilities are available to impact the warfighter? We hope that we've convinced you that not only are we doing everything in our power to ensure that we don't come across like these crazy, adorable, but vastly inefficient little patriots on the left, and we're organizing, gearing up, and ready to be the department's equivalent of the winning team on the right. We only win as a team, and we just ask that you come join us in one way or another on your projects, on your search for AI, or perhaps even as part of our team. Thank you.
That was awesome. Thanks, Zach and Jacqueline. I kind of, now going back, would have probably put you in with the DIB and PIF briefs from Ken and Ben, because that was kind of some of the questions they were receiving. But I'm glad to kind of close the loop on the AI conversation. Glad you guys are briefing where you are.